Hey everybody, it's Andrew and welcome back to LuGame Lunchtime Games Club. Right then, as we left off, a bit of a dicey conversation there with Stacey, but it seems, at least I'd like to think it's coming around for the better now. Leave it to Stacey turn a helpful moment to Boston. Right, yeah, because the last thing she asked was basically, since I'm apparently, since you think I'm so bad at this adulting thing, would you please enlighten me? Enlighten you? In what way? About what it means to be an adult. If I'm so wrong, then what should I actually do to show my dad that I'm not the kid he apparently thinks I am? I know. Oh, I don't think you do, but then again, maybe you'll have some surprising wisdom that isn't Chewy related. Kitty barely manages to stop herself from bouncing up and down on her heels, her arm raised. Katie? Being an adult means taxes and laundry and cleaning and making food and washing the car and going to work and helping me with my homework and putting me to bed at night. We get a bolts. Honestly, that sounds more like a list of things our cleaning staff does. I can't believe I'm taking advice from the most childish of this group, but let's say I humored you. Her expression shifts, her shoulder dropping pitifully. But how am I still to learn to do all that by myself? Well, you could just start with one of them. Which one sounds the most appealing? Nothing on that list sounded appealing, Coda. How about something that we could actually help you with? Like, cooking. I'm not too bad at that, and you can cook something for your dad to surprise him. Show him you're responsible enough to learn a new skill with your newfound free time. Cooking, huh? I guess it doesn't sound like it'd be the worst. Cooking can be fun. I'm just bad at it. I don't practice enough. She looks around the room at us before letting out an embarrassed huff. Fine. Just tell me when and where you want to meet. Yay! Group bonding time! For a second, Tifa and I exchange looks. Stacey is actually doing it? Kitty breaks our stunned silence. If I make a suggestion, maybe we could ask the cooking club if they'd be willing to let us use their kitchen or something. Why don't you just reserve the time after school? Maybe Friday. Katie gapes at Stacey, her eyes sparkling. That's an affirmative reaction. What? No, I'm just... Whatever. Don't go soon to the and she's gone. Clap, 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 slam. She slings her bag over her back and stomps out of the club room, nose in the air in spite of having the reddest cheeks I've ever seen. Even redder than her hair. Cute. It's after school and I'm standing hesitantly outside out of the home economics room. Oh yes, home ec. Two shopping bags on my arms. As curious as I am about what's going down inside with the club members, I can't help but think that either today is going to go really well or it's going to be an absolute disaster. Already I'm leaning towards the latter, considering the fact that I've been asked to pick up more groceries when we just bought some yesterday in preparation, but... Arms full, I tap the door lightly with my foot. It's pulled open immediately, releasing a familiar burning smell into the hall. Welcome, Coda. Hey, Katie. Who fucked up? It's... Going, great, thank you very much. Progressing. Katie's cheerful tone contrasts comedically with the absolute anguish in Tifa's voice and the aggravation in Stacey's. Let me see. Who is that? Is it Coda? Tell him to come on in. The smell of burning is apparent before I even enter the kitchen, but it's a little worse in the actual room. Okay, first off, what did y'all try to cook? Because it's probably best to start with something simpler and move your way up. You know, just get down some of the basics of working with specific ingredients, and then combining those ingredients and, you know, using them in different ways. That sort of thing. And you just kind of build up from there to doing a more complex dish that may require multiple of the different things you just learned along the way. That's what I'd assume. Duh. Is it ready for tasting? No, it's ready for the trash. Just about. I stand in the bags of ingredients, trying not to cough. Smells like it's done. Sarcasm detected. I don't know why. Iris is coughing. You don't know why? Don't you smell that? A flicker of doubt crosses Stacey's face before she smells confidently. The smell isn't all that important. Oftentimes, things end up tasting like what they smell. To some extent, anyway. Varies, obviously. The smell's not that important. The food will come up perfectly fine. In the face of Tifa's glowering, I walk over to the stove to lift one of the pot lids. Oh, it can't be that bad. I'm sure there's something salvageable in... Ah! Don't! It's not a fish for human consumption. Ready? Edible. Hey! A foul-smelling plume of black smoke emerges from the pot, forcing me to clamp the lid down as quick as I can before it activates the fire alarm, or before whatever's in there manages to get out. You've given birth to some kind of Chernobyl monstrosity. Katie attempts to help, standing up on a chair to flap a tea cloth in the alarm's direction. I turn off the flame beneath it before turning around to slowly face Tifa and Stacey. The flame? What, you've got gas stoves? I mean, convenient. That just flick the temperature is much more easier to get to where you want it, and you can just flip it on and off as opposed to waiting for electric burner to, slowly heat up, and then when you turn it off, it has to cool down again. Yeah. So that's why you haven't buy all the ingredients all over again. Oh, it's completely unnecessary. I'll prove it. Stacey walks over to check the pan on the next burner. As she peers into it, her expression immediately changes into something more like dread. Wait, why does it look like that? What, like the fresh remains of roadkill? I followed the recipe exactly. Tifa joins as her frustration clear. Is that what you'd call exactly? You put too much sugar. It didn't seem like there was enough. It said not to melt the butter first before stirring it in, but it takes long to melt for it to wait for it to melt and stir it. You turned the fire twice as high even after I told you not to. Twice the fire, twice the cooking speed. Stacey, that's a meme. Tifa stares at Stacey directly. Okay, so maybe I made some slight adjustments. Nightmare adjustments. You can't eat that, Stacey. Instead of replying, Stacey stares into the black sludge in the pan. Don't do this. Just curb your pride. Don't do it. You're going to make me start all over again, aren't you? Unless you want to eat that terror? That's not a real question. It came from the home ec room. Needs to be a fucking retro style B horror movie. Stacey groans. I pat her on the shoulder gingerly, but instead of snapping at me like I expect, she sighs instead, wiping off a grease stain from her cheek. Need help with the cleanup? You could say that. Her elegant expression is enough to make me grin, but I resist the urge to tease her and look around the room. First things first, we need to reset this kitchen. Just what I was thinking. I'll cover surfaces. Stacey and Coda, you get the dishes. You're putting us in close proximity. Okay. What task shall I accomplish? Katie, you can put the groceries into the class fridge and just until we're ready to start again. I look at Stacey, gesture into the sink. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Would it be bad of me to say that I don't think she'd know how to properly wash dishes? Like, she'd half-ass it like she did the cooking. That's the only reason I'm saying that. But I don't understand, like, the difference. Like, I'll go with my gut and just say I'll wash you dry. I wash you dry? I can do that, I guess. I turn to the water, adjusting this to the temperature to fill the sink with soapy water. Stacey wrinkles her nose as she watches me intently. What is it? Nothing, just... how can you touch any of that with a straight face? It was probably the right choice. Oh, come on, it's not so bad. I wash dishes all the time. You get used to it after a while. Used to wrinkly fingers and touching wet food? She stands her glittering nails, shaking her head. Well, normally the food will have been disposed of before it's in the sink. Hopefully. Unlikely. Because it just creates a culture in the sink. I grin at her. Wait. Oh. Yeah, okay, yeah. I grin at her. Then it's a good thing I'll be doing the washing. I suppress the urge to try and tease Stacey, especially considering how cute she is when she's mad. Sorry, you can stand beside me. Thanks for the permission. She says it snarkily, but this time when she stands at the sink, her arm presses lightly against mine as I grab the sponge and get to work. Ooh, we're touching. You have a towel, right? 1 second. She walks away to grab a towel from Katie, then pops back up beside me, trying her best not to look embarrassed. I do now. I try not to smile as I hand her the dishes. She's slow at first, mainly because she dries each dish with a level of meticulousness that should go into the Guinness Book of World Records. So she's a bit like me then. If I have to hand dry something, it's just no water. It shall be dry. It shall be free of moisture. Flirtation detected. No, Katie. I'm surprised you even recognize. You know what? Never mind. Huh? Both of us look at each other then at Katie. What? My sensors are detecting very high pheromone levels. Pheromones aren't real, Katie. What? I'm just not... Okay, no. Moving on. But she trails off, her voice quiet. You did tell me to work with her. Flirtations, huh? Tifa, Katie is wrong. I mean, Code and I, we weren't... Why are you grinning? Tifa interrupts her, smiling brightly. You don't have to explain it to me. Just stop floating along to get those dishes done, you two. I glance at Tifa curiously, but she simply smiles. Okay, what? Under Tifa's careful direction, the kitchen starts to look more and more like a kitchen and less like a disaster area. Are you really gonna start cooking all over again? Because I'm like completely worn out. Tifa purses her lips slightly. Well, we can go and order pizza. Pizza? That's random. Besides, shouldn't we choose something that all of us will eat? Actually, I'm good at pizza. I look at her in surprise. It's not too plebeian for you? Look, I said I was tired, didn't I? Pizza does sound pretty good, I admit, but I won't be able to go out. I've kind of got some games I want to practice playing. Then does that mean it's just the two of us? Because if so, it sounds like a date. Date? Does that mean I can't come too? Of course you're coming, Bolts. I was just kidding. Stacey grins at me cheekily. Coda is 1,000 years too early before he even has half a chance to date a girl my caliber, much less me. Must I remind you of how hard you were pushing to pursue me earlier? Unless that was entirely just to try and wrap me around your finger. But, I mean... dense protagonists mow at me for that, I suppose. I feel this strange urge to protest, but I resist. If I didn't, would that mean that I actually want to go on a date with Stacey? Kate tugging on my sleeve prevents me from thinking on it further. Don't worry, who needs dates and there's pizza? Atta girl. In my personal opinion, both are normally okay, but... I look at Tifa curiously. You sure you don't want to come? Come! Yeah, both the same. I'm sure the little game practicing thing can wait. Besides, I hate to admit it, but you're the reason this kitchen didn't burn down, so the least I can do is buy us all the pizza. Tifa looks surprised at Stacey's begrudging praise. She turns that over in her mind. Then, suddenly, she shoots Stacey a cheeky grin. Wait a second. Can you even afford a pizza right now? What? Of course I... She trails off, her expression annoyed. Fine. So I can't, apparently. Still, it's the principle of the matter. You should still eat with us. You just want me to pay for the part of the pizza. Admit it. No! I just forgot that my parents... That's not why I... Stacey looks bewildered, but personally, I'm just struggling not to laugh. I'm guessing that bossing Stacey around has finally made Tifa comfortable enough to tease her. I guess I'll just have to come. Won't wait to be hungry after all that. Stacey blushes, an angry expression brushing across her face as she realizes Tifa is teasing her. I'm going. If you decide to come, I'll see you there. If not, so be it. I'll DM the address. Tifa leaves, she leaves abrupt with the door slamming shut behind her. Tifa is still here. Stacey was leaving. Dolt. The room was silent before Tifa and I burst out laughing in Decay's bewilderment. Confusion alert. Confusion alert. Why are you laughing? Oh, it's nothing, Stacey's just not as scary as I thought she was. Especially when she's not armed with loads of cash. She's kind of right. I think I can spare a few minutes of quality time with you guys. You're coming? Yep. Stacey changed my mind. Huh. That's a sentence I never thought I'd hear from her. Or at least not in a positive light. I grab my bag, hooking my arms to the straps. Come on, let's go over before her driver picks over without us. Kitty cheers, pumping her fist in the air. The room filling with cries of pizza, 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 as we head out into the hall after Stacey. Cute. You're lucky I'm allowing you to take this exam. You'd be flipping burgers for the rest of your life. Sorry, sir. I'll study harder next time. I'm not interested in excuses. I want results. Get it done, Coda. I try not to cringe. Physics is far from my strong suit, but I can't exactly say that now. Yes, sir. I won't let you down, sir. If I can ask, why did you fall asleep during the test? I can't exactly tell them I was playing games with Tifa, can I? Let's just say I was up with a girl, sir. It's technically true, just in a very platonic sense. Not the way he'd take it, and I don't know how to react to it, but it would be funny to see. My hesitation seemed to be enough of an answer, though, thankfully. Never mind. I remember when I was a teenager, the things I get up to. It's probably best if I don't know. Just be sure to be ready for the retest. It's your future, Coda. Take some responsibility. My teacher steps out of the classroom, briefcase in hand. As soon as he's gone, I slump forward to my desk, trying to groan at the idea of studying just right now. I walk onto the hallway, almost bumping into Tifa as I do. Hey, Coda. That took forever. Everything okay? Yeah, he's letting me retake it. Oh, that's great news. Good news, yeah, but I only have a day and a half to study. Don't think I'll be able to play games today. After a brief stop by my locker to grab a few necessary books, we walked along the hall toward the club room. I'm sure it's fine. Katie sure enough won't care. Fair point. Does it look messier in here, or is it just my imagination? Why is there a box on top of the bin? Trash can, what the fuck? Oh, what? That's not... that's not terminology, Mike. Okay. That was odd. What? I think you've been watching... You know what? Never mind. Greetings, Tifa and Coda. Welcome. I have an exciting idea. Sorry, Katie, I won't be able to... Oh, just let Bolt speak. She's been dying to drop this news since I got here. My ear can't handle being talked off anymore. What is it, Katie? I was thinking about hosting a games tournament. 5 players locked in a deathmatch, playing multiple games in order to defeat the game's champion. Who's the champion again? With an audible pew, Katie points 2 finger guns at Tifa. Ah, the final boss. Well, sorry, Katie. It's not a great idea, but we might have to postpone the matches. I need to use this period to study for a physics exam. I have to retake. I have retake coming up really soon, and clank, clink, clank. Contract released. You take today's a free day then. Contract? I decided to question it, instead sitting down at a desk not too far away. Now to review these notes. Remaining club members, let's go on a field trip. What? Coda needs quiet, and I don't want to be quiet. Thank you for being so very considerate, Katie. That's adorable. Coda needs quiet, and I don't want to be quiet. So, alright then. I'm sure we can figure out something to do that won't get us in too much trouble. Yeah, just ask Stacey for some ideas, and then take those ideas and sift through them a little bit to get rid of the, debauchery elements. That sounds a bit too bad. Tifa trails off as she offers her hand, the 2 girls stepping out into the hall, leaving me in silence. Ahem. Oh. Yeah, I did notice I didn't say you were leaving. Well, almost silence. The sound of someone... Chips. Clearing her throat breaks my concentration, forcing me to look up. Hey, Stacey. Did you need something from me? Because I'm kind of busy with something. Yeah, I know. She overs the table all the same, avoiding my gaze without sitting. Then, if you don't mind my asking, why aren't you done with them? I'm not going to be able to do much with you, so... Is it too much of a crime to be here? No, crime is kind of extreme, but I need to concentrate on studying. I know, that's why I'm still here. She looks at me awkwardly. Are you offering to help, or do you just want to... I'm not enough of a narcissist to legitimately think it's because you want to be around me, but this is a visual novel, breaking the fourth wall. Meta knowledge, whatever, that's more appropriate, really. Meta knowledge, breaking the fourth... oh, God, I am getting in an absolute... Calm thoughts, back on the track, get the train rolling. It's a bit of a meta knowledge to say, like, is the reason you're sticking around because of me or something, but you did suggest studying for tests or whatever. Trailing off, she looks like she wants to forget the whole thing, but I pat the seat beside me, brushing off my surprise. Studying, yeah, I remember. Is that with just me? Yes. Okay. The eagerness in her voice makes me pause. She seems to notice too because she flushes suddenly. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if I'd selected the other option, she would have said no. I mean, you'll make an adequate study partner, I'm sure. I mean, you're dedicated enough to be studying during your break, and that's great. This is sounding something more like Alex would say, not you. So you're putting on airs, I think. I've never seen her talk so much. That's not true. Thanks? Stacey visibly cringes, clearing her throat. Let's just get started. You have a crush on Coda, and you don't know how to deal with that, don't you? That could be completely out of the ballpark, but that's like the little alarm bell going off in my head right now, so maybe I'm just paranoid. Or being narcissistic. Vicariously narcissistic. Jesus, that sounds sad. No, never mind that. Stacey lets out a sigh, putting down her pencil. Need a break? She grins at me tiredly. Is that okay? I mean, I didn't know that nerds took breaks. Sometimes we do, but only on full moons. Stacey lets out a laugh before trailing off quietly. Actually, you know, Alex and I used to do this. Stay together, I mean. Really? Well, kind of. She would come to my house to study. The help would prepare us a top-class meal, and I would kind of goof off while she studied. She let out a sigh. So, not really, I guess. It's just, I don't know, it's just the fact that they're side by side. Stacey falls silent, staring down at her hands. Coda, am I a bad friend? No, I just think you were... I mean, okay. Yes and no. I think you were abusing your friendship by taking advantage of your friend. I just think you need to be more responsible. Like, but bad friend may be going too far. Like, there are far worse things you could have done, you know, to take advantage of someone close to you. So, yeah, but just, I do think you are being irresponsible. Bad friend? Where did this coming from? I mean, Alex is just so mad at me that I don't know how to talk to her. And taking it up with the teacher was my way of making it right, and it completely failed. At this point, I'm not sure if she would even want to be friends with me. I'm not sure if I was ever really her friend. Oh, come on, you guys were always together. I'm sure she thought of you as a good friend. No, Coda. I've been in this club for more than a month now, and you guys have done more for me than I feel like I've done for her in our entire friendship. I mean, going on trips together, helping someone who used to be mean to you to try to make up with their dad or even study. You're practically a saint-level friend. Coda, I could hardly compare. Honestly, Stacey, I don't think that's true. Not all friendships are the same, and Alex didn't seem like the type to only like people who did things for her or tried to help her out. I'm sure everybody in the club wants to help you out because you're pretty much one of us, but I wouldn't sell yourself so short. Excuse me, but one of us? Stacey bumps my shoulder lightly with hers. That sounds suspicious, like you're calling me a nerd. I grin back at her, bumping her lightly in return. Don't to deny it, soon enough he'll be the nerdiest of us all. Stacey bursts out into bright, cheery laughter. This is cute. I like this. It's uplifting. I'm happy. For now, that generally, as far as that says, it's gonna go downhill fast. Where's the dumpster fire? Before long, though, her expression shifted into something more somber. Stacey sighs quietly. I wish fixing things you mess up when you can't use money was as easy as joining a group of friends, Coda. For the first time in my life, I met a problem I couldn't pay for, and it actually bothers me. Like, whatevs, I can handle some jobs worth not taking my check, fine. But Alex rejecting my calls and refusing to answer my messages is too much. I feel like giving up. Maybe try a different approach then. Texts and calls are easy, but maybe something that takes more effort would show that you're genuine. Like what? I shrug unhelpfully. Sorry, Stacey. You're kind of on your own with that one. I don't think I know her well enough to make that kind of call, you know? Yeah. She falls silent. I'll think about it then. Good idea. In the meantime, I should probably let you know that the Culinary Club agreed to let us use their time slot again. Seriously? Yeah, whenever you feel like it. I think they were so impressed how clean we left that they couldn't say no. Tifa was being pretty militant about using the right type of scrub brush, well, wasn't she? We laugh at the shared memory before Stacey finally smiles at me, her voice surprisingly soft. Alright then, I'll let you know when. The bell rings, coinciding with the door bursting open as Tifa and Katie make their triumphant return. How was your field trip? A success. I draw my eyes to Tifa, who somehow looks more exhausted than when she left. A mess. What happened to Katie's school vest? That's a good point. I didn't even notice. Typical. Like I said, a mess. Details? Don't just leave me... Okay. Fucking... With that dark statement, I decided to ask more, instead turning back towards Stacey. My eyes get hers as she's pushing back her chair to stand, quickly collecting her textbook. I see the hint of a secret smile on her lips before she turns without saying goodbye, the only evidence of our quiet moment, the close proximity of her chair beside mine. Huh. Well, that was interesting. I'm going to call this here. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode.